A 3-second hug can permanently rewrite how she categorizes you. Most men lose her interest the moment their hands make contact. And what happens in that brief window, that compressed moment where your bodies occupy the same space, determines whether you remain a safe, forgettable presence or become something she can't stop thinking about. Touch is not neutral. Every point of contact sends a message through her nervous system faster than conscious thought can intercept it. Her body decides about you before her mind catches up. And most men, good men, well-intentioned men, fail this test without ever knowing they were being evaluated. You think a hug is just a hug. She experiences it as a biological interrogation. Her limbic system is measuring your confidence. Her skin is reading your intent. Her unconscious is cataloging the micro-adjustments in your grip, the hesitation in your hands, the energy you're either withholding or expressing. This matters because attraction isn't built through words or looks alone. It's built through calibrated physical presence, through the silent language her body speaks that bypasses every rational filter she's constructed. When you understand how to touch her during a HUD, not with manipulation, but with calibrated masculine presence, you create something most men never access: somatic memory. She won't remember what you said. She'll remember how her body felt in proximity to yours. And that memory rewrites the category you occupy in her psychology. Friend, provider, protector, lover. The hug decides. The science behind this is uncomfortable. In 2011, researchers at Tel Aviv University conducted studies on how women perceive male touch during initial interactions. They discovered that the location, pressure, and duration of contact during embraces directly influenced attraction ratings. Not slightly, dramatically. Women rated men who touched the lower back during hugs as more confident and sexually viable. Men who touched the upper back or shoulders were categorized as friendly, safe, brotherly. The difference was 5 inches of skin. 5 in that separated desire from indifference. But it goes deeper than placement. The autonomic nervous system responds to touch through a network of nerve endings that sends signals faster than conscious thought. When you touch her, you're activating mechanoreceptors in her skin. These receptors communicate with her brain's emotional centers. The amygdala, the insula, regions responsible for threat detection and emotional memory. If your touch is uncertain, if there's hesitation in your hands, her nervous system registers it as fear. And fear is contagious. She absorbs your doubt through her skin. Conversely, if your touch carries, if your hands rest with calm authority, her body interprets this as safety. Not the safety of a protector necessarily, the safety of a man who knows himself, who has integrated his masculine presence so completely that his body expresses it without effort. This is what attraction feeds on, not perfection. Integration. Psychologist Paul Ekman spent decades studying nonverbal communication and discovered that the body leaks truth in microseconds. You can control your face, you can rehearse your words, but your hands will betray you. The pressure they apply, the speed at which they move, the places they avoid. A woman's body reads all of it. She doesn't have to study psychology to decode you. Evolution did that work for her. Thousands of generations of mate selection refined her ability to detect authenticity through touch, to separate the men who wear confidence like a costume from the men who embody it. And here's what the research won't tell you explicitly, but the data suggests women are more attracted to men who touch them with intentionality, not aggression. Intentionality, there's a difference. Aggression forces, intentionality guides. One violates boundaries, the other establishes presence. When you understand this distinction, the hug stops being a social obligation and becomes an opportunity. A moment where you can transmit something wordless, something true. A frequency of masculine energy that her body recognizes, even if her mind doesn't have language for it. Picture this moment. You're standing close to her. Maybe it's a greeting, maybe it's a goodbye. Maybe it's that ambiguous space where friendship hovers on the edge of something else. She moves towards you, arms opening. The social script says, this is simple. But nothing about human connection is simple. In the next 4 seconds, you will either reinforce how she already sees you, or you will alter the trajectory entirely. The room doesn't matter, the context doesn't matter. What matters is what happens in the space between intention and action. Most men approach this moment on autopilot. They've hugged 1,000 times. They think they know what to do, so they execute the standard protocol. Arms around shoulders, pat on the back, quick release, smile. And in doing so, they confirm her initial categorization. Friend, colleague, safe, neutered. But there's another way. A way that requires you to be present, to slow down, to recognize that this moment is not about following a script. It's about transmitting something real. Let me show you what that looks like. When she moves towards you, don't rush. This is the first test. Rushing signals nervousness. It tells her you're uncomfortable with physical proximity, that you want to get this over with. And discomfort is the opposite of attraction. Instead, allow the moment to arrive. Let her come to you with the same calm you'd bring to any other action. Your feet planted, your breath steady, your eyes holding hers until the last possible second before contact. This is presence, and presence is magnetic. Here's where most men fail. They go high, upper back, shoulders, sometimes just the sides of her arms. These are friend zone coordinates. These positions communicate I respect boundaries to the point of denying my own masculine intent. And while respect is necessary, excessive caution reads as fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being too much, fear of wanting her, but desire unexpressed doesn't disappear. It just becomes tension, the wrong kind. The kind that makes her uncomfortable because she can feel you holding back, and it confuses her nervous system. So instead of going high, go low. Your hands should land on her lower back, not her waist, not her hips, her lower back. This is the zone, the placement that activates something primal without crossing into overtly sexual territory. It's the space where protection meets desire, where strength meets invitation. When your hands rest here, you're doing several things simultaneously. You're claiming space. You're demonstrating comfort with her body. You're communicating that you're not afraid of your own intent, and you're giving her permission to feel safe in proximity to your masculine presence. Here's what separates boys from men. Pressure, not force, not aggression. Pressure. Your hands shouldn't float on her back like you're afraid she might break. They shouldn't grab like you're claiming territory. They should rest with firm, confident weight. Enough pressure that she feels held, not trapped. Held. There's a nervous system response that happens when a woman feels properly held by a man. Clears throat. Her cortisol levels drop. Her body releases oxytocin. The stress hormone decreases while the bonding hormone increases. This is biology, not manipulation. When you touch her with the right pressure in the right place, you're creating a neurochemical environment where attraction can bloom. But if your touch is weak, if your hands barely make contact, you trigger the opposite response. Uncertainty, discomfort, and the subconscious categorization that you lack the strength to hold her. In other contexts, timing is everything. Too short and you're rushing. Too long and you're lingering. The sweet spot is 4 to 6 seconds. Long enough for her nervous system to register the quality of your touch. Short enough that you're not overstaying the moment. During these seconds, your breathing matters. If you're holding your breath, she'll feel it. Your body will be tense, your energy constrained. Instead, breathe normally. Deep, steady calm. This does something subtle but powerful. It regulates her breathing. Humans unconsciously sync their respiratory patterns with people they're close to. It's called behavioral synchry. When you breathe calmly during the embrace, her body begins to match your rhythm. And when her breath slows to match yours, she's entering your frame, your emotional state, your frequency. This is how presence works, not through force, through resonance. Here's the move most men never use, the pull. In the final second of the hug, instead of releasing immediately, you pull her in slightly. Not a yank, a gentle but deliberate increase in pressure. Just half an inch closer. This micro movement changes everything. It demonstrates that you're comfortable increasing intimacy, that you don't need her permission to express what you want, that you can escalate without apology, and it creates a moment of tension. The good kind, the kind that makes her heart rate spike, the kind that lingers in her nervous system after you've let go. How you end the hug matters as much as how you begin it. Most men release awkwardly. They pull back too fast. They break eye contact. They fill the space with nervous words. All of this kills the tension you just created. Instead, release slowly, your hands sliding from her lower back as you step away. Not rushing, not lingering, just moving with the same calm authority you brought to the approach. And here's the critical part. After you release, hold her eyes for 1 extra second. 1 second of direct eye contact after physical touch has ended. This compounds the effect. It tells her that you're not embarrassed by the intimacy you just shared, that you're comfortable with the tension, that you can hold space for desire without needing to immediately diffuse it with humor or deflection. This is masculine maturity and it's rare, which is exactly why it's powerful. Let's go deeper. What's really happening here? Why does something as simple as hand placement during a hug carry so much weight? Because humans are always asking unconscious questions about each other. Can I trust this person? Is this person strong enough? Does this person know what they want? And we answer these questions through behavior, not words. When you touch a woman with intention and calm, you're answering all 3 questions at once. Yes, you can trust me because I'm not trying to take more than the moment offers. Yes, I'm strong enough because my touch doesn't apologize for existing. Yes, I know what I want because my hands don't hesitate. This is the language of attraction, not verbal, somatic, body to body, nervous system to nervous system. And the men who understand this don't need to chase. They don't need to convince. They simply exist in a way that women's bodies recognize as legitimate. Let me tell you what not to do. Don't hug her like she's your sister. Don't pat her back like you're burping a baby. Don't pull away the second physical contact is made like her body is contaminated. Don't ask permission with your eyes before you touch her. Don't apologize with your posture for occupying space. These behaviors all communicate the same thing. You're afraid of your own desire, and fear is the opposite of attraction. Women aren't attracted to men who are afraid of them. They're attracted to men who are comfortable with themselves in the presence of feminine energy. There's a difference. This isn't really about hugs. It's about how you move through the world. Whether you touch a woman with intention or hesitation is just a reflection of a deeper pattern. Do you pursue your goals with parity or doubt? Do you speak your truth or hide behind diplomacy? Do you own your desires or apologize for having them? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, and women sense this. They don't need to see your bank account or your resume or your list of accomplishments. They just need to feel how you exist in your own skin because that tells them everything. A man who touches with calm authority is a man who makes decisions with calm authority. A man who can hold tension without dissolving it is a man who can handle conflict without collapsing. A man who knows where to place his hands is a man who knows where he's going in life. These things are connected, not obviously, but deeply. So here's what you need to understand. Attraction isn't something you negotiate. It's something you generate through presence, through authenticity, through the courage to express your intent without apology. And sometimes that expression is as simple as where you place your hands during a 4-second on the embrace. Most men will never think about this. They'll continue hugging women the way they've always hugged women, and they'll continue getting the same results. Friendship, politeness, respect without desire. But you're not most men, or you wouldn't have watched this far. You understand that the details matter, that the small moments carry enormous weight, that the way you touch her during a hug can change how she sees you forever. So the next time you embrace a woman, remember this. Your hands on her lower back, firm pressure, 4 to 6 seconds, a slight pull at the end, slow release, 1 second of eye contact after, and then walk away like you just did the most natural thing in the world. Because you did. You just spoke in the language her body understands.